Coming up on the Beaufort News, the third annual Lieutenant Dan Weekend is underway. We'll get all the details. Also ahead, we'll find out how the latest tourism numbers look here in Beaufort and beyond. And Councilman Joe Lee joins us with a Port Royal report. Keep watching Beaufort. Your news starts now. Thanks for joining us for the Beaufort News. I'm Allie McNair in for Jessa Jeremiah, and here are your local headlines. Events surrounding the third annual Lieutenant Dan Weekend in Beaufort are underway. On Tuesday, veterans visiting the city this week attended a 9/11 memorial service. In addition to Gary Sinise's annual Lieutenant Dan Band concert on Saturday, there will be a concert featuring 3 bands on Friday, plus much more. We'll have details later right here on the Beaufort News. Well, one arrest has been made in connection with a home invasion on Sunday night in Beaufort. Authorities say 3 men in a residence on Windsong Lane told sheriff's deputies that 3 black men between the ages of 25 and 30 forced their way into the home with an AK-47 and a shotgun. While the victims were held at gunpoint, a woman whom they knew as Shannon began searching through bedrooms in that house. Deputies later arrested 37-year-old Shannon Barnett of Beaufort and charged her with first-degree burglary, armed robbery, and 3 counts of kidnapping. As of our taping, the sheriff's office was still searching for the 3 men involved with that home invasion. The federal courthouse in Beaufort is on the list of 6 federal courthouses slated to close in the South. On Tuesday, the federal judiciary said it will close the 6 courthouses due to inadequate funding from Congress. None of the courthouses, including the one in Beaufort, has a judge who is based in the courtroom. When needed, judges travel from larger cities. According to the federal judiciary, the facilities will be closed down over the next several years. A Marine who drowned just hours after graduating from boot camp has been identified. 19-year-old Private First Class Jonathan Crawford of Ohio disappeared while swimming about 40 yards from the beach at Hunting Island State Park on Friday, September 7th. His body was recovered around 5:30 in the afternoon. A spokesperson at Marine Corps Recruit Depot Paris Island says Crawford was an exemplary recruit. The second annual Praise Adopts Golf Tournament was held last Saturday at the Sanctuary Golf Club on Cat Island. 39 sponsors took part in this year's event, and over $10,000 was raised for adoptions. So far, Praise Adopts has brought home 7 children from China, Ethiopia, and also from local areas. Well, here's a look around the state at news. If you're a business owner, you'll be pleased to hear this. You'll likely pay a lower tax rate for unemployment insurance in 2013. At word from the Assistant Director of the State Department of Employment and Workforce. This week, Laura Robinson told a Senate subcommittee that the state unemployment agency may pay up to $150 million less in benefits this year by following stricter guidelines as to who qualifies for those benefits. According to Robinson, this year, $300 million will be paid to jobless workers compared to approximately $450 million paid out last year. Robinson says the reduction is due to internal policy changes and also to a new law that requires the agency to deny all benefits to workers who have been fired for misconduct. Members of the 20th Fighter Wing at Shaw Air Force Base were scheduled to join in the dedication and celebration of a restored F-111 strike jet on Wednesday. The aircraft was known as the Aardvark because of its long and slightly upturned nose design. The F-111 was assigned to the 20th Fighter Wing from 1970 to 1993. It was based in England. It flew 21 combat missions during Operation Desert Storm in 1991. The jet took 5 months to restore and is now on display in an open-air park at Shaw Air Force Base. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley will be on the campaign trail for Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney over the next 2 months. According to the state newspaper, Haley spokesperson Robb says, quote, Governor Haley has a very full schedule, but as much as her schedule permits, she does plan on helping the Romney-Ryan ticket, end quote. Since endorsing the former Massachusetts governor in December, Haley has traveled to New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Colorado to reach out to voters on Romney's behalf. A man from Aiken County is the first person known to have died in South Carolina this year as a result of contracting the West Nile virus. The Department of Health and Environmental Control says the man tested positive for the virus after he was hospitalized for a sudden high fever, confusion, and headache. Officials say the man was likely bitten by mosquitoes near his home. DHEC says the West Nile virus has been detected in 17 people in South Carolina so far this year. Now, if you'd like more information on these headlines, please reference the media sources you see listed on your screen. Also, you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Coming up, we have your hot off the press report as Buck Boone from the Island News joins us when we return here on the Bluffton News.
Low Country Real Estate is located in historic downtown Beaufort, home to one of the most attractive real estate markets in America. We've been providing high-quality service to our community for the past 24 years. Whether you're interested in buying or selling residential, resort, or commercial investment property, our professional sales staff can help you with your real estate needs. Please visit lowcountryrealestate.com for details on all available properties in Beaufort and come see how the Low Country becomes you.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. We have a look now at hot off the presses with Buck Boone, and he gives us the latest reports from the Island News. Thanks for joining us, Buck.
Good to be here, Allie.
Well, the United Way of the Low Country has kicked off its campaign. What are they looking at for this year's fundraising goals, Buck?
Well, last week, the United Way of the Low Country announced its fundraising goal of $2.8 million to advance the common good. The annual campaign helps the United Way fund agencies, partnerships, and nonprofit groups in Beaufort and Jasper counties that provide basic needs and promote education, health, and financial stability, which is, of course, are the building blocks of a vital community.
Now, as members of the community, often we say, how can we help? How can the community help?
Well, obviously, people can always show their support through monetary donations because dollars contributed locally always stay local, but also by donating their time. This year, the United Way of the Low Country is launching an education initiative that will establish tutoring programs in 8 elementary schools and is recruiting 600 tutoring volunteers. Being a tutor is a great way to get involved and foster reading and literacy skills.
Sounds great, Buck. You know, the annual beach sweep is this weekend. This is a big event in the state. It's that statewide effort where people go out, they volunteer to clean up the beaches and rivers. How can people get involved in the Beaufort area?
Well, South Carolina's largest one-day litter cleanup of beaches, marshes, and waterways is scheduled for Saturday, September the 15th at 9 till noon. Last year, more than 3,000 dedicated volunteers removed 20 tons of litter during the event sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources and the South Carolina Sea Grant Consortium. Beaufortonians who want to participate should visit the website scseagrant.org to find cleanup locations.
We're almost out of time, so quickly, if I could ask you, promoting safety is a big job for the county fire chief. Education is so important. How can residents help those emergency services respond as quickly as they possibly can?
Well, Allie, one of the biggest issues facing local emergency responders is addressing. Residents should take a few minutes to look at their home and businesses from the street to make sure that their numbers are visible and easy to identify. If there are any questions or concerns about addressing, please feel free to call or go by your local fire department. You can certainly read these stories and a lot more in this week's Island News.
Well, Buck Boone from the Island News, thanks for your time. We certainly do appreciate it.
Thanks, Allie.
We turn our attention now to business news, and Robb Wells joins me from the Beaufort Regional Chamber of Commerce. Great to have you on the program, Robb. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk about occupancy numbers. How do they look around the area of Beaufort?
Well, we've gotten our last reports in for August, and August was a kind of a return to fashion for us. We're seeing a good turn. We're up above 9% for the month, which in this area is very strong. speaking of some of the properties locally, I spoke with Wendy Boyd, Director of Sales at the Hampton Inn here in Beaufort. Just speaking with her, their August was a little bit higher than what I would say the average for Beaufort's occupancy has been. And they were extremely pleased with their high occupancy numbers, reaching well above 55% and more.
Well, we're in the midst of the month of September, and that really marks a whole new beginning of tourist season here in the area. What is it that brings visitors here and also to the entire region during the fall? Yeah, this is kind of getting back into our core demographic in travel season. The empty nesters that fill into the area really start to show back up. It kind of kicks off with Lieutenant Dan weekend and kind of rolls right on into the month of October with 18th Annual Shrimp Festival. By the way, you can get Lieutenant Dan weekend tickets here at the Visitor Center, and as well as Shrimp Festival t-shirts for sale. But both of those events kind of highlight the start of the fall season and milder temperatures, little easier to navigate traffic-wise. You got kids going back to school, so you have the city becomes to a new beginning. Yeah, and for people that like to look ahead to later in the fall, what would be your recommendations as far as what is, say, a must-see or do in the area? Definitely for us, it's time to get outside, get outdoors again. Old Sheldon Ruins is a great place to grab that scrapbook moment, that picture with the family, but also to take in the history of the area and kind of capture that time essence that's still standing and is a signal and a mark for this area. Well, Robb Wells of the Beaufort Regional Chamber of Commerce, we want to thank you for joining us on the Beaufort News. Thanks so much. Thank you very much. And coming up, we'll talk with City Councilman George O'Kelly, who's running for re-election to the Beaufort City Council. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Matt McElhaney, owner of City Loft Hotel, an upscale boutique hotel in downtown Beaufort. We are proud to be consistently ranked as the #1 hotel in Beaufort based on TripAdvisor's guest ratings and comments. At City Loft, we value our neighbors in the Lowcountry. Whether you're taking friends by boat or need a romantic getaway in Beaufort, let us at City Loft extend hospitality while introducing what's new in urban hotel design. At City Loft Hotel, we are committed to customer service. When you stay here, you're always a local.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. City Councilman George O'Kelly joins me. Great to have you on the program, Councilman.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I understand you're running for re-election, and I'd like to ask you, what do you see as some of the important issues, or what are some of the important issues that you see Beaufort is facing as a city?
Well, the economy certainly continues to play a big role. We are trying to get quality businesses to come to Beaufort, particularly for the Commerce Park. That ties in with our Marine Corps facilities and the Naval Hospital, making sure that we keep those up and running. Sequestration is going to be a big issue in the coming year, and our Military Enhancement Committee is working tirelessly to keep our assets in place. These are some of the issues that we've been working on and will continue to work on.
And what do you say to those voters who are watching the Beaufort News? Why should they vote for you, George O'Kelly?
Well, I have experience. I served 2 full terms. One time I was served back in the late 70s and early 80s. I served from 2004 to 2008, and I'm just finishing up the last year of Councilman Gary Fordham's term, who, as most people know, passed away when he was still in office. I have a history of looking out for Beaufort. I have a history of being conservative. I have never voted for a tax increase. I try to do what's right, considering not only my family, but everyone's family.
Open and transparent governing are important to people. Would you say that's the way that the Beaufort City Council would be described? Yes, I do. All of our meetings are open. We don't do anything behind closed doors unless there's an executive session to discuss personnel matters or contract or legal matters, which we have to respect
the personalities involved with that. But our meetings are completely open. We have numerous workshops prior to ever voting on anything, and we have about 3 workshops a month, and they are all very open.
Well, Councilman O'Kelly, I want to thank you for joining us on the Beaufort News.
Thank you.
Joining me now, the Director of Operations for the 3rd Annual Lieutenant Dan Weekend, Dick Clarke. Dick, great to have you on the Beaufort News. Tell us about the concerts this year.
Well, we have actually 2 great concerts. Let me start off by Friday night. We have a concert that's called Vetpalooza Military Salute. And this is an opportunity for the Independence Fund to actually give back to our local military. So all active duty military and their dependents will be admitted to the park free. And for the public, it's a $10 ticket. And we have an amazing lineup. There's 3 veteran-led bands. The first one is led by, first 2 really are led by double amputees from Afghanistan or Iraq. Mike Corrado will lead a band called Machine Gun, followed by Dale Beatty, a double amputee, and his group Outlaw 21, which is his radio call sign from Afghanistan. And then our headliner that night is Rocky Lynn, who is a veteran of the 82nd Airborne and a true military advocate. In fact, all of them are military activists.
Well, speaking of veterans, what specific activities do you have planned for veterans?
For the veterans, we have a host of activities that will give them opportunities for recreation, for fellowship and bonding, and just an opportunity just to step away from their normal, very busy lives and have an opportunity to decompress, visit with each other, and just have an opportunity to get on with their lives.
I mean, I know you have some fishing as far as that goes, doing some fishing in the area, their regular banquet, all kinds of things scheduled, right?
Yes, 5K and a bike ride Saturday morning at the air station, a golf event at Cat Island Sanctuary on Friday morning. And then, of course, it's all highlighted by Saturday night with Gary Sinise and his Lieutenant Dan Band playing in the Waterfront Park. The shows there start at 7 o'clock. We have a warm-up band, we have a great deal of activities, and of course, Gary and his band put on a great, wonderful show, and we're so pleased he's back for the 3rd year this year.
Dick, there's so much going on. How do you make all of this happen?
By having a great group of volunteers. We have just amazing group of hundreds of volunteers who are working and keeping their focus on our severely wounded veterans.
Well, Dick Clarke, we want to thank you for everything you do with your efforts as well. Thanks for your time.
It's great to be here. Thank you very much.
And when we come back, we will have the Port Royal Report and our Arts and Entertainment Report with Mark Schaefer of Low Country Weekly right here on the Beaufort News.
Is it time to purchase for the one-of-a-kind person in your life? Over 60 years of service distinguishes Modern Jewelers as one of South Carolina's preeminent jewelry stores.
We're proud to have been voted Beaufort's #1 jewelry store 10 years in a row. Come visit us at 807 Bay Street.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. It's time now for the Port Royal Report, and joining me with all the information, Port Royal Councilman Joe Lee. Great to have you on, Councilman Lee.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Well, word has it that the skateboard park is under renovation. Tell us about that, if you will.
Sure. We're in the process of giving it a real facelift. The all-weather cover has been up there 10 years, and it's due a paint job, so we're rehabbing that. The park will be shut down for another couple of weeks, but and we're sorry for the skateboarders. A bunch of them enjoy that park, and we just had to shut it down to do some maintenance on it.
Well, I'm sure they'll be pleased when they take a look at the finished project.
Oh yeah, and I think it's going to be worth their wait. I think they'll be real pleased.
Now, you need to make some corrections, I understand, on some times that you gave us last time you were here. Can you tell me about that, if you would?
Yes, I can tell a lot of people are watching this TV broadcast because everybody in the county corrected me, and I wanted to get this out. I was so confused about times last week. But town council meetings, both the first Wednesday and the second Wednesday of the month, are held at 6:30, not 6. If you come at 6, it's fine, but we don't start business until 6:30, and I wanted to make sure that was corrected.
Great. Great, 6:30 it is, and you know what? What the heck, if they got there a little early, that's better than them showing up
They
late.
shouldn't expect dinner. We don't serve dinner.
No free meals.
Okay.
It's almost time for the final street music concert of the season. Let us know about that if you could.
Yes, we have the Kruger Brothers, September the 22nd, and this is at 6 o'clock on Paris Avenue. It's the final concert of the season. Bring your kids, bring your cooler. If you missed the last one, we had the Savannah Jazz Orchestra, and it was a packed house. And again, I failed to mention the fact that these are free concerts. So please come out September 22nd, 6 p.m. I also wanted to mention real quick that we do have a Paris Island graduation this weekend. We have 631 new Marines that'll hit the deck on Friday. So welcome them, and also welcome their families that'll be here for graduation.
Well, we appreciate your time so much. I know you wanted to talk about the Cypress wetlands undergoing a transformation. We're going to have to hold on that till next time you come on, and we'll be looking forward to it. Councilman Joe Lee, thank you so much for the Port Royal report.
Thank you, guys.
Well, before we go, no edition of the Beaufort News would be complete without the news on entertainment. And this time, as always, courtesy of Mark Schaefer of the Low Country Weekly. He is at Henry C. Chambers Waterfront Park.
We're going to do our report from the office of Low Country Weekly because we thought the weather was so nice overlooking Waterfront Park. First up, the Short Story America Festival and Conference is just around the corner, and this is exciting news for local literature fans. Writers, editors, publishers, and critics from all over the country will be gathering in downtown Beaufort for an event-packed weekend starting Friday, September 21st. Tim Johnston of the Beaufort-based website and anthology, Short Story America, is hoping to make this an annual event. Local residents will be able to participate in panel discussions, lectures, fiction readings, workshops, parties, all sorts of things. And just to be clear, you don't have to be a writer or even an aspiring writer. This conference is for readers, too. If you love literature, and people who love literature, you want to be a part of this. For information about the lineup or events, or how to purchase a weekend pass, visit shortstoryamerica.com and click on Festival. Next up is more news for book lovers. USCB has just announced its schedule for this season's Lunch with Authors series. This fantastic series has become a primo stop for major writers promoting new work, and it looks like this season will be better than ever. It kicks off with Joanne Harris, who will talk about her new book, Peaches, for Father Francis, the follow-up to her best-selling novel, Chocolat, which became a terrific movie. These luncheons take place at locations all over the Lowcountry, from Beaufort to Bluffton to Hilton Head. The price is $42, which includes a tasty lunch, the authors talk, a Q&A section, and a book signing. For a full schedule of authors, dates, and locations, you can go to Lowcountry Weekly's website at lcweekly.com or call Joanne Kingsley at 843-521-4147. Lastly, we have the latest news from the Beaufort Art Association. There's a new show going on up there starting September the 16th with featured artist Ellen Long in a show called Views from My Window. Ellen lives on Fripp Island, so that gives you some idea of the views we're talking about. The BAA will host an opening reception at their gallery on Bay Street Friday, September 21st from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And along with Ellen Long's new exhibit, gallery goers will have a chance to see lots of work by other Art Association members. Well, that's it for me. Go out and enjoy your day.
That will do it for this edition of the Beaufort News. I'm Allie McNair in for Jessa Jeremiah, who will return next week. Take care.